won't get their guns or money back following the pardon they received from Missouri Governor Mike Parson in 2021.
This judge is saying that they are not entitled to have their guns back or be refunded for the fines they pay because the pardon from the governor happened after they took the deal, not before. Before we get started today, big thanks to Craft Holsters for sponsoring this video. Let's make holsters great again. And in my opinion, nothing is more comfortable and feels better than a leather holster. Now these are 100% custom holsters. They made one for my P365 with a red dot. These are molded with a replica of your exact gun. So the fit is amazing. There's excellent retention on these, and they make holsters for more than 1,500 types of guns. Pistols, revolvers, all sorts of carry styles, both left and right-handed, in the waistband, outside the waistband. So there's gonna be a coupon code and a link below the video. Go grab you one of the best leather holsters out there today. Welcome back, everyone. We got a blast from the past today. I personally thought we were on the verge of just going to war with everyone. Let me clarify. With ourselves, right? Because people were burning crap in the streets. It was all about Black Lives Matter. They had this big thing. They got $80 million donated to them, and all they did was buy mansions and did nothing to take care of their own people. Yes, a war with ourselves. Not something like sending $45 billion out to Ukraine. Ukraine is not a part of America. I don't give two fucks what happens out there. I don't care what happens to Russia, and I don't care what happens to Ukraine. Yes, they're people, but people need to own their own shit. If you have somebody saving you all the time, you're never gonna learn. America is the most important thing to America. And if you don't agree with that, you do not belong here. It's as simple as that. Anyways, getting back to the war between ourselves. Some people were calling it a civil war. Some people were calling it just a war to defend what you have, what you believe in, whatever you want to call it. And then other people were just trying to protect their shit from being burned, looted, and whatever else. So there was a bunch of Black Lives Matter protesters just going through a neighborhood and destroying shit. And these people have a pretty nice house. If you worked hard for it and you like it, you want to protect it. So these people walked out with their guns. Now, I talked about this when it happened, and I still to this day see 100% nothing wrong with what they did. Imagine this. Imagine these people were not there. They were in their house, but they hired private security. Do you think the security guards would have had their guns out? Right? I mean, let's take the gas station video that I did the other week. This gas station owner hired guys to walk around with guns to make sure that his store is not robbed. Same exact thing these people are doing, but on their own grounds, on their own house. And so there was this big, oh my God, these people are white supremacists. These people are gonna kill people, all this stuff. Crime is really an interesting concept nowadays, especially back in 2020.
Well, I'll tell you this. What you're witnessing here in this case is just an opportunity for the government, the leftist, Democrat government of the city of St. Louis to persecute us for doing no more than exercising our Second Amendment rights. Every single human being who was in front of my house was a criminal trespasser. They broke down our gate, they trespassed on our property.
If you are willing to commit crime, you're betting your life, especially in this country, because people have pride in themselves and what they have. So if you're going around committing crime, robbing people, doing people wrong, you better believe there is going to be a day when you meet the wrong dude, and then you'll meet God or whoever you're gonna meet based on how you lived your life. So these people were charged with 2 felony counts for simply pointing their guns at people who were probably gonna come onto their property and completely wreck their property if they did not stand out there and guard their property. That makes so much sense.
They were going to be beat up badly, and the house was going to be totally ransacked and probably burned down like they tried to burn down churches. And these people were standing there, never used it, and they were legal, the weapons. And now I understand somebody local, they want to prosecute these people. It's a disgrace.
I think what we need to do as a country is just simplify stuff. Oh, there's a crowd of people destroying the street headed to my house. Is it fair if I stand outside with my gun just to make sure they don't do the same to mine? Yeah, that's fair. That sounds good. Okay, cool. Simplify it. Fuck people's emotions. You are in charge of your own. Nothing anybody does should have any weight on how you feel, but that's how we live in America today. Oh no, you called me a he, but I'm really a wolf. Is that really America's problem? Seriously. I mean, be whatever you want. I really don't care about any of that stuff. But that's not America's problem. That's your problem. So I'm jumping around everywhere. They were charged with 2 felonies and they ended up pleading guilty to misdemeanor charges, and they ended up surrendering the weapons used. Now, I don't know the details of the case, but to me, that's absolutely ridiculous. But then Mike Parson, the governor, he pardoned them, which means that he probably simplified the whole thing. Oh, a bunch of people just completely wrecking a neighborhood were walking in front of these people's houses. They didn't come off of their property. They didn't hit one of them in the face with their buttstock. They didn't shoot any of them. They were just standing there to protect what they own. Now we get to the part that's absolutely bullshit. Now the McCloskeys have had to sue in order to get their guns back and their fines remitted. And this week a judge ruled that the pardon has nothing to do with their deal. This judge is saying that they are not entitled to have their guns back or be refunded for the fines they pay because the pardon from the governor happened after they took the deal, not before. Oh, that makes a shitload of sense. I don't know, to me there's wrong and right in this world. There's not really a middle ground. If they were wrong, why would the governor pardon them? But the court wants to whip out their dick and say, no, they did do something wrong. Why would they take the deal otherwise and not give them their guns back? That is an infringement on their rights. You have a higher government official than you in Missouri telling you that they did nothing wrong, pardon them, and you still will not give their guns back. This is what the judge said. While the governor's pardon does clear plaintiff's record of the conviction, his guilt remains, and the terms of an agreement that predicated said guilt also remains. This is the type of stuff that happens to citizens all the time. The ATF story that we just covered the other week, where the guy got all of his guns taken out of his Tesla for being at the wrong place in the wrong time. They should have given his guns back right then and there. For these people, they're pardoned. It's done. What they did was fair. If that was one of the Black Lives Matter protesters' house and they pulled a gun out and it was a bunch of white people in the street destroying crap, I'd be saying the same thing. The only difference is y'all would handle it differently. Y'all would say, oh, well, they were in their rights and, you know, I mean, it was probably a hate crime. All these white people in the street were going to attack this person's house, so it was fair for them to have their guns out. If you were an official in this country, stop complicating stuff.